We're not asking anyone to give up what they're good at.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of IMOs to where they want you, okay, we're going to take you out of the final expense world and we're going to bring you in the annuity world. But to do that, we're going to ask you to just take your focus off of that and come over here. Well, then they struggle with income. And then, their spouses are at home, they're frustrated, then their confidence goes down and their book of business disappears, and then they don't want to be a part of a great world.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Annuity Fundamentals. I am your host, Kylie Malott, joined today by our co-host, Ryan Anderson, and we are excited to have Greg with us. He is out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, and he is with Summit Life Group, and him and Annuity Fundamentals have a lot of in common. He helps take life agents into the annuity space. So thank you so much, Greg, for joining us. We're so excited to get into this today and talk to you. So thank you for being here.
Hey, no, it's a great opportunity to be here. I thank you for having me on this to be able to see if we can pass some positive information off to agents that want to go from the final expense world into annuity selling.
Amen.
So, let me go ahead and clarify a couple of things here. So, Greg, this is Greg Piorkowski. You're the CEO and president of Piorkowski Insurance, and you are affiliated, you work with Summit Group, but you guys specialize in taking final expense agents and moving them into the annuity space, and that's exactly what Annuity Fundamentals does. Now, you guys kind of got a little bit different approach to it than we do. So take a minute here. So I'm a final expense agent, and I've got a nice little book of business. I've been in the business a couple of years, so I'm seasoned. I know what I'm doing, but I realize I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. What can you do for me?
Well, the first thing that we have is we have to understand why somebody wants to make that change. So I was talking to some final expenses agents here just earlier in the week, and their concern is that, Greg, I'm on here, I'm selling final expense policies, I'm selling life policies, but I get to a point periodically to where someone wants to move a 401k or someone wants to to move a CD, and they aren't working with an agent at all to even do a referral. They're just stuck in there and they're leaving people out there. So that transition of what we're working with them is finding them a place that they're comfortable with. Because what I find out in that book of business is agents are afraid to share. They're afraid to want to work with an agent. They're afraid to want to learn. So the first thing that we do is we have a group of people that they can trust, that they can come on board with us. They're very clear that, hey, we're not looking to want to intrude on your book of business, that you have. You're in your lane. You're very good at what you do. But what we want to do is help complement you and either work with you on selling that annuity business. But what we'd rather do is to be able to teach you how to be able to own your own business there and to be what I like to teach people as a trusted advisor and taking them from that final expense insurance, that thought process, if you will, or an insurance agent to now we're going to take you to a trusted advisor. And it makes them, it puts them into a whole new area in their mindset because now they're just not selling final expense insurance or life insurance, which is all important. There's value there. But I find out that a lot of my buddies, when I ask them, what they do, I just sell life insurance. Well, no, you're really a trusted advisor. So we want to take them for that. And once we see that the light bulb come on in their head that I can help Bill and Mary with that 401k because I'm not just a final expense guy, I'm a trusted advisor, and they start feeling pretty cool. So it's that first thought process of changing them and how they think about it. That's really where we start right away first.
Yeah, I love that so much. You said a couple things: comfortable, mindset, passion, and language. Just in meaning, those were things that stood out to me. Comfortable, you're so right. Ryan and I have been training agents, Ryan much longer than I, but the past 2-3 years that we've been training specific agents getting into the annuity space is comfortability. I mean, they're really putting themselves out there. And as an adult, for some reason, it's a lot harder to make friends than it was when you were 6. I watch my son make friends, and it sounds a lot like this. Hey, my name's Onyx. Do you want to be friends? And it's like, then it's instant, right? Oh, yeah, and then they're off playing. But as an adult, it's a much more vulnerable place to come and say, hey, I actually need help. And as adults, we have a really hard time doing that. But once we do and we meet someone such as yourself, Greg, or at Annuity Fundamentals, and you have someone that you trust and you're comfortable with, then you can start changing your processes. So, like you, we're not trying to change the world, right? You're just saying, hey, you're not just the life guy anymore. We use asset protector. So we try to get their mindset to shift, that they're not just the final expense guy. They're not just the Medicare agent, but they actually can help. They're a trusted advisor. They can help get that client to where they financially need and want to be. I appreciate you saying, I ask people all the time, like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm just an insurance agent. And it does sound like that. And when we met you at Cody Askin's 8% Nation, and they were talking about, one speaker said, my biggest regret is I didn't have enough passion talking about what I did. I don't know if it was timid or embarrassment or whatever it is. For me, it's not exciting. When people are like, hey, what do you do? I'm like, what a loaded question, right? I do a lot of different things. So I have a really hard time about answering that question. And that was a big mindset shift that I needed to make, to have some passion about what we do, because we really do help people in the best ways and in the safest ways. It's not like we're scheming, we're putting together solutions, right? So I really appreciate that you said, it takes language. We're not trying to change your world. We're trying to make a few adjustments and getting your mind right to say, hey, I'm not just a final expense guy anymore. I'm not just a Medicare. Let's get into the annuity space and have confidence to back that up. So when you're sitting in front of a new agent, what's your biggest piece of advice to get them to, I guess, change their methods into trusting your systems?
Well, and that's the other thing too, is after we get that trust in, there's the platform that we have in place. And, and let's just be honest, there's a lot of platforms out there. There's a term called CRM, and I don't even know if anyone knows what that actually stands for. I hear CRM, people have different words and acronyms.
I'm going to look it up. You keep going, because we work with the CRM, and I have no idea either, but keep going.
Nobody actually knows what it is. But, so the CRM, that we have in place, and we wanted to find something that was simple, that was something that they could dig into, but yet still had everything in one place, because we didn't want them to necessarily have to learn something new, because they're going to continue to do their final expense, do their life insurance. Now we're moving into annuities. So the challenge I've seen over the years is people were wanting them to have two different systems. Well, you're going to have your CRM, or your computer system for your current stuff, and then we're going to give you a second one. And man, now I'm overloaded. So we put one system in place that has it's really, for me, I'm a simple guy. I'm a left-handed Polish guy, so I struggle with what I'm doing anyways. So it's I can go, I'll just stay off that. But anyways, so the whole system is all in one place. Our CRM is, they can literally go into it. All of their insurance needs are there, whether it's from final expense to life, whole, universal life, annuities. All of the carriers are there. All of their leads that they can get and buy are in there. Now I got this thing on, which is kind of cool. I used to have those things where you twisted and you hit a button and you had to call people. It was a rotary phone. That's how we used to dial. I don't even know. My kids probably couldn't order pizza if I had one of those now. But that's how we used to call. And then we went to, the phone to pick up and tap in. But now we made it simpler to where they can go into the CRM. They can take a mouse and they can click on the number and it goes right to them. And all their information is up. This person wanted, whatever insurance they wanted. And that's the other thing too, is we help them understand in our system that there's no prejudging. If someone says that they're looking for a final expense, that doesn't mean they're not looking for an annuity.
Yeah.
And adversely, going back to that trusted advisor, as we're moving them to the broadness of looking at their estate, there's also people that want annuities that also didn't get insurance along the way. So that's, the biggest thing, that CRM is important. But here's what I find that's most attractive is we go back to the people. We make time through what we use an app on called Slack, and I'm sure a lot of people use that. That's available daily, all day. I was just talking to an agent just before I came on board, and he was a PNC agent for 10 years. And he said, Greg, my biggest thing is I didn't have support. And I said, well, Saturday we were walking around Marshall's. My wife was doing some shopping, and there was an agent that was brand new, and she was selling some insurance. And it's 8 o'clock at night, and she didn't know what to do. The client's on the phone. She sent out a question on Slack, and usually Rich and I and Cody are available, and we were able to answer it, talk her through it, and at the end of it, a half an hour later, standing in Marshall's, um, she sold the policy. So that gives them confidence that even on Saturday, these crazy guys are still available, and to know that from there, as we talk about annuities, how does that transition work with them? We had another agent that was selling brand new in the industry, didn't
Hmm.
know anything about it, went in for life insurance, got a final expense lead. And it's probably good that they didn't know anything, because sometimes we know too much as we get going into the industry. They literally started out doing a final expense, didn't know what they were doing, called us, paused, and like you said, Kylie, they were humble enough to ask for help. And as they asked for help, we went in, and whether it was a case split or whatever it was, they were humble enough to say, listen, I want to help the client, even if I have to split commissions with somebody to get help. And that's a pause right there.
Hmm.
Because a lot of the insurance agents, even in the final expense industry, I always ask, what do you want? When do you want it? And what are you willing to give up if you want to grow your industry? What they're willing to give up is generally not commissions.
Right.
They'll lose the annuity case all day because they're not willing to accept that help. So this guy didn't know anything, was a final expense guy. And at the end of it, sold a $400,000 annuity because he was willing to ask for help, got one of us online, we got on Zoom, we went through the whole thing. And while we were closing that annuity, he's taking notes, on the other end of it, and listening and learning and taking that real knowledge into his life. But it's we create an environment, much like I'm sure you guys do as well, that they feel comfortable asking for help. Because
You know, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and
no,
finish your thought.
no, it was the last thing here. You have to cut me off. I think Kylie's figured out I'll just keep talking. But there's a sign that I have over here on my wall. It says, people know me, people like me, and people trust me. So too many of us just take that into our clients. And I've learned to take that into my business. So my agents know me, and they like me, and they trust me, because once they got that, if your purpose is to help agents become better at what they do,
Mm.
and you're not looking to get business from an agent that doesn't know what he's doing, because that's another thing. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, there's a lot of annuity agents out there that are preying on final expense agents like it's food,
Oh
because they
yeah,
know they don't know what they're doing. So they go, well, listen, just send me the referral, I'll give you 10%, rather than
yeah.
teaching this guy how to grow his business. So, I mean, it's our purpose is purpose filled with heart.
You said so many things in there, and I've got a whole bunch of notes here. So, three or four things. Customer Relationship Manager, CRM. I didn't know that.
Yes.
And we actually own one. So I was like, okay, that's one of those things. There's like, what everybody knows what it is. It's one of those acronyms that's kind of, like, IBM. Who
Yep.
knows what IBM stands for? I mean, we just know it's a computer company. But rotary phones, you went back to that. We actually have a old Ma Bell rotary phone hanging on the wall in our kitchen that
Nice.
works. And it doesn't anymore because we don't have a landline. But we had my kids' friends come over and said, "Here, call your mom. It's on the phone." And they're sitting there, just touching the things, and like, "How do you make this work?" And then the ching, 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 ching. Like, they thought it was the most amazing thing ever. But one of the things that you went through and did that struck me, and this is something I have seen time and time again, you have to be humble and teachable. If you're not, it doesn't matter. It's that I actually had a case where we had an agent who spent a tremendous amount of money, brought us out to where they live, other side of the country. We ran multiple seminars and workshops with them, and all the way through it, I was like, okay, so this is what we're going to say. It's like, no, I don't like that. I want to do it my way. that's not how the system works. No, I want to do it my way. Okay, so the first time appointment, I want you to go into the appointment, and my partner, Angelique, she's going to join you in that thing via Zoom so that we can go through. It's like, no, I got this handled. I don't need that. And so they went through one. And anyways, long story short, because every time we turned around, we're going to do it. No, I like it my way. And this particular individual spent about $6,000-$7,000 with between the cost of the different seminars, between the cost of flying us out there. We closed one annuity, and as we're sitting there talking to him about it, they covered their cost, but that's all they did. And I was sitting there, and he says, well, this system doesn't work. I was like, no, you're not willing to listen. You're not willing to take a step back and say, all right, I am here to learn something from somebody who knows more than I do. That I am unwilling to do those. And then it was funny because as we were going through there and we got the relationship going, he says, oh, hey, I've got an annuity opportunity. I was like, great. When are we going to meet with him? Oh, no, I can do it on my own. What product do I need? Because there's a difference in the commission structure, how we go through. And I'm like, we had another agent. This guy's one of the most talented young guys I've ever seen. I mean, he does about $50,000 a month in life premium. The kid has got game. And he has brought how many? You know who I'm talking about, Kyle. I don't want to throw him under the bus here. $2 million in annuity opportunities in the last 2 years?
I bet. Right around there, yeah.
He's not closed a single one. And the reason being is like, say, hey, we'll help you with. It's like, no, I just need the product. I'll close it myself. And I'm like, no, it's that you are not giving up a portion of the commission. You're not giving that up right now. You're acquiring a new skill. And this is the cost to do that. And you will make that back tenfold in the next little while if you'll actually just humble yourself, be teachable, and realize there's things out there I don't know. The other thing that you said, I was a district manager before I did this, and I hated, that's a strong word, I strongly was cautiously optimistic. I know I really disliked it, having third-year agents train. And the reason I did that is by this point in time, they're good. They know their stuff. They know how the products. They know how to close. But they relied too much on themselves and not enough on the systems. And so what I'd see is their income would go up. Third-year agents, they'd plateau. And then I'd actually see them drop in income a little bit. Then we'd come up there and we'd, okay, nope, let's go back to this. And I say that you've abandoned the systems, that you know things, but let's go ahead and each one you just kind of pivot and you go back and forth and kind of abandon the things that you've gotten you there. You need to go back to the basics, to the fundamentals, and make sure you implement them in every appointment. Now, so the things you're talking about there, the know, like, trust, that's the old Zig Ziglar stuff. I mean, that's just fantastically it makes so much sense that when people hear that and they don't implement it, and not just in their sales with clients, but in all aspects of their life, that it just kind of permeates stuff. Now, you guys out there that you work with agents and you're trying to help them move into the annuity space. So what are the requirements? Do I have to change my IMO to come work with you? Do I have to go through and what are the training programs? What is the mentorship program? Kind of break it down for us. Really clarify it for us there if we could.
Well, the first thing is, and it's the catch in the industry. We are growing our IMO, nationwide right now. So the first thing is we're asking you, to be a part of the team. So to be able to join Summit Life Group, are we asking for all of your business? No. That's the first thing. And along with that, we don't have any non-competes. We're not going to make anybody be vested. I mean, I come from an industry where I lost millions of dollars of business because I wasn't vested. Rich, the owner of Summit Life Group, comes from that background. So we're not going to ask anyone to be, stuck. If you don't want to be here, I mean, it's an open door in and out. But to be a part of our organization, the only skin in the game really is to just join our team. So that's the first thing. We do have a CRM that's available. If you've got one that you're using already that you're happy with, keep it. That's the other thing is when we sat down to build this new organizational teamwork with it, our list of what we didn't want was bigger than the list of what we wanted. We didn't want to be a lead selling company. We didn't want to be a CRM selling company. We didn't want to have agents have to be captive or be vested. We didn't want to have them pay for coaching programs and mentorship and things. So, coming on board, if you're already licensed, you're just moving your license. Obviously you have your CN, your E&O license, all that stuff.
Hmm.
But differently, what we're doing is this is, as I looked at the lead industry, and I know some of the big hitters in the industry. There's a guy down in Florida. I know Brian. I won't give his whole name, but he's got a big league organization down there, and we looked at the final expense leads and the annuity leads and different of what they were on the cost. We wanted to change that. So just for an
Hmm.
example, on some of the qualified annuity leads, you can spend $400, $500, $600 on qualified annuity leads. We're
Yeah.
getting those down to below $100.
Wow.
We're getting those down below that. Some of them may be a little bit more, but right now we're working on getting those down below $100. We're having both inbound and outbound. So that's the other thing. Our CRM system, if someone wants to get it, I didn't want to be a CRM system company. I've interviewed a ton of agents, and usually there's a fee every month. Ours
Yeah.
is
Yep.
$150 one time. And as long as you keep selling insurance, there's never another cost. We want to give back to our agents. I mean, just from the final expense side, and when you bring somebody from final expense insurance over to the annuity side, if final expense agents are coming on board our company to want to get a feel that, hey, Greg, we like your mentorship programs. We like what you're having, but we still want to sell final expense. A lot of them are moving their final expense business over because our leads are only $5.25. And we buy them for $5.25, and we give them back to our agents for $5.25. And it's the same lead that everyone else is getting for $10 and $15. Now we
Mm-hmm.
have inbound leads that are maybe $20 or $30, but those are timed and things. So when those come over, it's giving them still that area. I'm comfortable with my final expense. We're not asking anyone to give up what they're good at.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of IMOs to where they want you, okay, we're going to take you out of the final expense world and we're going to bring you in the annuity world. But to do that, we're going to ask you to just take your focus off of that and come over here. Well, then they struggle with income. And then, their spouses are at home, they're frustrated, then their confidence goes down and their book of business disappears, and then they don't want to be a part of a great world.
Hmm.
So we're not asking them to give it up. We're adding it to it. And the partners that are a part of Summit Life Team, Summit Life Group and Summit Life Team, and we're working together and we're building Summit Life Team. A few of those guys haven't been in insurance, but they have massive teams that they've built across the nation. Some of these guys have teams of 100,000 people just across the nation. They've been doing this in second generational businesses. They're great at coaching. They're great at mentorship. And these guys are coming right into as owners of the insurance company and building agents very quickly because we're not teaching you how to sell anything. We're teaching you how to have a conversation. A partner of mine was telling me that he's got 9 businesses and his second generational companies. He knows how to build people, how to build leaders.
Hmm.
When people ask Kylie, "What do you do, Greg?" I build leaders and I teach people how to identify the pitfalls in their life. And that's what we do. We build leaders and help people identify the pitfalls in their life. So when someone says, "Well, Greg, why would I come on board from you?" Well, there's things that agents are looking for. They're looking. They always tell you the canned question. Well, I'm looking for leads. Where do I get leads at? Well, you can
Yeah.
get leads anywhere. Well, are they free? Well, no, they're never free. Well, Greg, I'm getting paid 40% in final expense, and my leads are free. No, they're not. They're just keeping your commission in here. So we're starting them here at 110% to 90%, and then they're buying their leads at a cheaper price. So yes, they can get leads, but then we have a training system available that we never force anybody into success. I got 10 kids, believe it or not, and I've told my kids that I'm never going to force you to be successful, but we're going to give you a toolbox. So we have Slack available all the time. We have morning Zooms, 9 to 9:30 you can plug into. And then we have the team builders that know how to build people, that it's not insurancey. I guess I don't know if that's a word.
Hmm.
Ryan, a partner of
I
mine,
think
was
it
saying, Greg,
is.
Greg, I don't want this to be real insurancey. I just want to help people supply what we call love policies, because that's really what an insurance, whether it's an annuity, as we teach them how to move to an annuities, you're really creating a love policy of legacies that's going to go into that. And the biggest thing that we let them know is we're available. I had so many IMOs. I've been a part of just maybe one or two in my whole life. I'm kind of a rare dinosaur because people would, it's like dating. When I was dating, I would drive my wife past this big fancy house and go, one day we're going to live there. And then after we got married, I'd go, can you imagine the electric bill? You know, and so you know, so so, so it's like the IMOs, not all of them, or the FMOs. They tell you all these great things. Oh, we're going to bring you on board. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they say, well, you know what? I know that's what we said, but let's give it some time. And it screws it up. And you've moved your licenses. You've gone through the process. So we're not going to do that. But what we are also doing, and I know this may sound different, but I think you figured out I'm a little different in the industry. We want to give our agents virtual hugs. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you wake up with a cruddy attitude and your spouse just told you how horrible you were because you didn't take the trash out, or the leaves in the backyard didn't get picked up, or you had three people told you no the day before, and you had an annuity policy that just got, they did the free look, and you've got 3 appointments and you're going to cold call the rest of the day. If you wake up and hit the phone, odds are that it's like Joel Osteen said, you got to get the stink off. That stink's
Yeah.
going to go through the phone. All of us, all the leadership tell our agents this. If you wake up like that, don't get on the phone. Give me a call and we'll spend 15 minutes on a hug. We'll let you puke all over the phone. You can get it out. And then we're going to give you some words of affirmation and to help you get feeling better. So now you talk about you're already going from final expense, not really asking generally enough questions. You're doing it just enough to sell the final expense policy, talking to a different income level or a different mentality. Now we're asking you to open up your mindset to, I don't want to say actually care about the people, but actually learn about their story and learn about everything. But now you're going to get on there with a bad attitude. It's not going to go
Yeah.
anywhere. You're not going to bless them. They're going to lose an opportunity in protecting their retirement. You're going to lose an income for yourself, and the company's not going to get a chance to grow to be able to help other people. So that quick virtual hug, I absolutely love doing that to agents because
Yeah.
they get off and they go, man, I can conquer the world, and I'm not going to sell anything. Clients will call me and they'll say, well, Greg, what are you going to try and sell me? And I go, you know what? First of all, I don't know what you want, and I don't sell anything. We just have conversations
Yeah.
and we'll learn about each other. And within that, if it resonates, then we'll fill some of the blanks in your life and we'll help create legacies. But with going from final expense to annuities, it's creating a new purpose
Mm.
and taking the purpose that you already have as an insurance agent. I don't believe we have insurance agents. I believe we have trusted advisors or asset protectors. Everybody is. If we walk away from saying, I'm just the Kirby vacuum cleaner guy at the front door. Even if he would have been better at what he was doing, he wasn't just selling a vacuum. He was selling a clean home.
Yes.
That's what he was doing. So here we're helping those final expense agents go, listen, on top of just helping your mentality, on top of our CRM, which is very simple to use, we can talk about there's no cost and all those fun things. But the most important thing is that we have a group of people that are actually here to supply the leads. You'll buy them cheaper, to be available for you, and to have strategic planning for coaching, how to build your business and how to build yourself. And in doing that, we're helping people become better husbands and wives.
Absolutely. Greg,
That was a long
I
answer, I know.
no, I appreciate everything you've said. I think, you said something, join our team. And I know Ryan and I say that a lot too. And if there's an agent watching this, I hope the message that is coming through loud and clear is you have support and you have people and companies out there that are actually who want your best interests. So all it takes is for you to look. And sometimes that's not always going to be the first click. You're going to have to do a couple clicks and make sure it's a good fit for you. We take at Annuity Fundamentals, we take exploratory phone calls. So Greg, if someone wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best way someone could get a hold of you guys at Summit Life?
Well, I mean, I can give you our website, but being personable, I put my cell phone out there for everybody. I mean,
Beautiful.
I can send the website out there for everybody, but I mean, I can give you our cell phone, if you want. I'm
Please
not
do.
afraid to
Please
do it.
do.
It's the same cell phone that my mom has. So the same number that my mom's going to call me on is the same number you're going to call me on. And that's 269-910-0764. Our website is just summitlifegroup.com. Rich Florence is, he's one of the co-partners of that. Just really the reason why I got super excited about doing this 6 months ago, because I've been in the industry a long time, and you can lose your why along the way. When
Hmm.
agents come to me and they tell me, Greg, I don't want to do final expense anymore. I always ask them why, and generally their first answer is, well, I want to make more money, and that's okay. But for the agents that tell me, Greg, I want to help more people, and I want to, I have an autistic child at home, or I have my parents I want to supply, an income for. I want to give more to my church. I want to take my wife on a vacation. I want to buy her that house where the electric bill
Yeah.
is too high. You
Yeah.
know, when they tell me that they have that why, then we can help them. But I guess the biggest reason, there's a ton of IMOs and FMOs out there, and there's a room for all of us to be in the sandbox, and we're all good in our lane. I could tell you our lane at Summit Life Group and Summit Life Team is our driven purpose to help your heart, to help look inside of you and to say, listen, you can do this. And I believe, honestly, if I may, in the lane that we're in, we have the best support system in that particular lane
Mm.
because we're more focused on creating leaders and to help fill the gap in your life and taking away from the insurancy word and teaching you. There's a book called How to Have Confident Conversations.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then there's another one, that we teach is by Paul Zane Pilzer. The questions are the answers. We can, that's a big one that I use in training my agents
Yeah.
is when they're talking with them, asking questions, understanding that that's generally the answer anyways. Um, but
Yeah.
but if they decide to give us a call, the only thing that I can promise them is that whether they join our team or not, our goal is that they'll be better for having called us.
What you just said resonates with us. Excuse me. That as far as that, when I go through and I meet with people and I do seminars and they come in, I say, all right, the goal for tonight is to leave you better than we found you.
Yep.
If this information on whether it's Medicare, on whether it's estate planning, on whether it's in Social Security or financial, whatever the event is, and we do all of those, it is we want you to walk out of here an hour from now. Maybe it might be a meal, maybe it might not be, maybe it's something else, but you are better than we found you. Greg, thank you so much for joining us. This has been
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. It really does. And the phone number, the email links, the website links, those are all be in the comments below. And if as we're going through and if we're talking, and if for everybody out there, if you've got questions, please, if you're looking to make the change from final expense into annuities, the Summit Life Group, they might be an opportunity for you. If you're looking to learn about annuities, and as far as you're not sure if you're ready for that, give us a call here at Annuity Fundamentals, and we help you take you from the life side and the Medicare side into the annuities. There's a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of programs out there that in our goal here at Annuity Fundamentals is to elevate the agents, elevate the status of annuities in the financial world, and to help give you what you need where you are. Thank you, Greg, so much, and we look forward to visiting in the future.